Hi everyone, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Anna, and you're listening to We Judge a Show by Its Pilot, a podcast hosted by us, a married couple with an endless love for TV.
Whether you're looking for a new show to binge or wanting to revisit an old classic, let us be your guide through the infinite list of TV shows.
So come join us every Friday as we discuss the pilot for a TV show while also sharing personal stories that parallel the storylines.
We Judge a Show by Its Pilot, where your new favorite show is just one click away. Hello everyone, welcome back to our pod.
Hi, how's it going?
It's been a minute since we've recorded.
I know, I was trying to think of when we actually last recorded. It's been a couple of weeks.
I don't remember. We've been trying to record the last couple of weeks, but work travel, and then I got a really bad ear infection. That lasted a good week and a half. This is really the first day where I feel like back to normal. So good thing we're recording.
Yeah, you had to, I think, first off, your whole ear canal was swollen
so
shut.
They thought I had a ruptured eardrum.
Yes.
And it turned out I had a tear on my ear canal, which
it was like a blister.
Everyone, don't use Q-tips. Use bulb syringes. Just flush it out. But yeah, I got a tear on my ear canal, which caused it to swell shut. All that pressure built up along with the tear. It was,
you were in excruciating pain.
I was in a lot of pain. It's a different. I've had ear infections before. I knew something was wrong because I've dealt with ear infections my whole life, and they don't usually hurt. It's just usually like my ears clogged, and that's just a few days of that, and then it eventually goes away. But nope, not this one. It was very. It stuck around. It was a solid, I would say about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, but I'd say more like a week and a half of just about a week of, I had a fever. I got legit sick.
A couple of days of that. Yeah.
So, I'm well now. I'm
then
fine.
Following that, I had so far 2 weeks of back-to-back work travel, and I have one more for this crunch, and then I have a couple of weeks, not off, but not traveling local. Yeah. And then I have another 2 weeks with a break and then some more. So this is my super busy work travel time.
So we have a lot to talk about today, and then it's our last episode of the month. And we are concluding. God, this month feels like it went on for such a long time.
It does.
I'm like, we're still on colors. I was like, it's been so long since we've recorded. I was like ready to talk about our theme for September.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end though.
But yeah, at the end. So today we are concluding our month of shows with colors in the title, and today we are doing. I think this is. Is this our newest? Yeah, this is our newest show. It is a show where the third season just wrapped this year. Well, the season itself ended this year, but we are talking about the White Lotus. I feel like this is one of the most popular shows out there right now.
It was it was in the zeitgeist. It was epic.
Particularly, I think every season is pretty big, but it feels like this most recent season was really popular. Maybe, we were already watching it, so it doesn't matter, but it just felt like it was this last season was it had such a big cast. All right, but we are focusing on the first season, despite it being, I guess you could call this, I don't know if you would call it, it's categorized as an anthology series.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a different cast. There's maybe 2 or 3 continuing characters that appear throughout the series, but for the most part, it's a new location, a new set of characters, a new cast. So we got a lot to talk about. So Anna's going to do what she always does and give us some episode and series information.
All right, The White Lotus Arrivals. The White Lotus is an American dark comedy anthology series that premiered on HBO on July 11th, 2021. The series currently has 3 seasons and a total of 21 episodes. The series has been renewed for a 4th season and will most likely premiere sometime in 2026. The series was created by Mike White, an actor and screenwriter best known for writing films such as The School of Rock, Orange County, Pitch Perfect 3. He's written for TV shows such as Freaks and Geeks and Dawson's Creek. He's also appeared on reality TV, including 2 seasons of Survivor and 2 seasons of The Amazing Race.
That's pretty crazy.
I totally forgot about that.
He is on the current Survivor season right now.
Yes,
that they had to delay
again. Yeah.
They had to delay filming because of the new season of White Lotus, because they're like, I guess go be on Survivor again. He's like, all right.
All the episodes of The White Lotus were written and directed by White. The White Lotus centers around the hotel resort of the same name. Each season is set at a different location and are mostly self-contained with some returning characters. The series mostly focuses on the staff and the guests of the hotel, and the first season takes place at the White Lotus Resort in Maui, Hawaii. The cast for season 1 includes Murray Bartlett as Armin, the hotel manager, Connie Britton as Nicole Mossbacher, a CFO for a search engine company on vacation with her family, Jennifer Coolidge as Tanya, a woman whose mother recently died, Alexandra Daddario as Rachel, a newlywed journalist on her honeymoon, Fred Heschlinger as Quinn, Nicole's awkward teenage son, Jake Lacey as Shane Patton, Rachel's uptight husband, Brittany O'Grady as Paula, a friend of Nicole's daughter who was on vacation with the Mossbacher family, Natasha Rothwell as Belinda Lindsay, the resort spa manager, Sydney Sweeney as Olivia, Nicole's daughter and Paula's bestie, Steve Zahn as Mark, Nicole's neurotic husband, and Molly Shannon as Kitty, Shane's mother. The White Lotus became an instant hit with both critics and audiences. The first season went on to get nominated for 11 Primetime Emmys, winning Outstanding Limited Series or Anthology, Outstanding Directing, Outstanding Writing, and Murray Bartlett and Jennifer Coolidge both won for Outstanding Acting in a Supporting Role. Connie Britton, Alexandra Daddario, Jake Lacey, Natasha Rothwell, Sydney Sweeney, and Steven Zahn all received acting nominations. You can currently watch the entire series on HBO Max.
I didn't realize they had all. It's called HBO Max now. I was like, did I get that right? Yeah,
Yes.
they have recently changed it back
redid it.
to
Yep.
HBO Max.
Yes.
I was like, because I hadn't updated our questions for this, so I was like, did I forget that? Of course not. Okay. So yeah, we've watched the show. We are fans of this show. We've watched every season, every episode. What did you think of the pilot the first time you watched it? Do you remember?
I'm trying to think of back then. I think we just initially loved it. The whole setup, the resort, Hawaii.
Yeah.
I have been to Hawaii. I've been to a resort in Hawaii. I've won a couple of like work trips to Hawaii. So I kind of felt like I was going back and thinking to myself, like, I think you look at this now and you kind of think about when you're on vacation. It's kind of like when we're on a cruise.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people play the game of like, tell the story of that couple over
Right.
there, so you kind of, it's to me that, but happening.
Right.
And so that's what I really liked about it. Plus I loved all the players. I mean, we love Connie Britton, Steven Zahn,
Jake Lacey,
Alexandra Daddario, Sydney
Coolidge,
Sweeney.
yeah.
I think this was like her uptick. She was on Euphoria.
Yeah.
So this was like kind of the start of her rise. She's
Yeah.
like all super famous.
That's
now.
true. This was kind of before she was Sydney Sweeney. Like
Yeah,
now
I mean,
she's like a leading
She's
lady.
Partners with, Bezos, getting ready to start her lingerie
Yeah.
line and jeans ads and all of those things. So
Yeah.
I liked it in that sense. And again, I loved it was a good pilot in the sense of the setup. You were introduced to the characters. You kind of saw the dynamics
Yeah.
of each, like Alexandra Daddario and Jake Lacey. You could kind of see a little bit of who they were as a
Yeah.
couple and their
Kind
personalities.
of the power dynamic that they have. Yeah.
And also with Connie Britton and Steven Zahn and then all the hotel employees. It was all sprinkled without.
Yeah.
So you definitely got the feel.
Yeah, and I forgot that Jolene Purdy was the new employee that failed to tell everyone that she was pregnant.
Yes.
Which unseen, I've talked about it on this podcast before, on the pod before. She was also in the 10 Things I Hate About You TV show. But she's in a movie called Unseen,
Yes,
which
that we
is
love.
one of my favorite movies that's come out in the past few years. I think I've watched it like 10 times in the last like year or two. Great movie. She's fantastic in it. She's been around for such a long time, and it's amazing that when I kind of looked her up, she played a teenager for like a really long time because she looks so young. But she's like my age.
Well, did you like it? What did you like about it?
So at first, I remember the first time we watched this, and I remember, I'm being completely honest, I remember the first time we watched the pilot, I wasn't that into it. I didn't dislike it or anything. It's like you said, we love the cast, the whole vacation aspect of it. Of course, I love that because we are travelers. We love going on vacation. And like I said, the cast was really great. I just didn't. I was just like, oh, it's just going to be like a whodunit. And like, I just kind of was just like, fine, I'll watch it. It was one of those things where I was like, I didn't hate it, but I was just like, sure, I'll watch it. But I remember maybe it was like the second or third episode where I'm like, oh, I'm in. I was just like, I forgot exactly. Maybe we should rewatch the first season. But like, I remember there was one point where I was like, oh no, this is a really good show. I was like, and I think maybe it was season 2 where I was like, I get it now. I was like, I get what this show is. But it took me a minute. And I could see why maybe someone wouldn't get into the show right out of the gate. But rewatching the pilot now, after knowing everything that happens, I couldn't believe that I wasn't into it the first time I watched it. Yeah. I was just like, how was I not into this? Maybe I was playing on my phone. Maybe I just wasn't, paying attention. My head wasn't in the game. But yeah, I definitely, season 3 was so good. I mean, like, I don't know if it was the best season, but it was such a good season. And Carrie Coon and Belinda Lindsay comes back, and it's just it's so good. It's so great. So we're gonna talk about two things while we're going over the plot summary. We're changing things up just a little bit. We workshopped it on the Golden Girls episode, where we kind of are gonna talk about, share stories, and ask each other questions while reading the plot summary. But before we do that, do you have are there any places, maybe we've talked about this before, but are there any places that you would like to visit that maybe we haven't visited? Or is there maybe a vacation coming up that we haven't talked about yet? Have we talked about it on the pod yet?
I don't know. We probably have.
Oh, okay. We talk about so much stuff. I can't ever keep
we lose track.
Yeah.
So, yes, of course, I've always wanted to go to Iceland.
Yeah.
And that sort of started as an obsession with always wanting to go to the ice hotel in Norway.
Yes.
And then they had an ice hotel in Canada. And I don't know why, because I don't really like the cold.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would just be
funny.
really cool.
Yeah. We did the ice bar in Vegas.
We did. And that really proved that.
Was actually really
I don't
cool.
know why I want to do that.
I loved it, though. Yeah.
It was cool. Okay. So other places, gosh, so many places probably in Europe. I mean, I've never been to England, Scotland, Ireland. Mm-hmm. All of those. I've never been to France or Portugal, so I'd love to visit those places. A lot of the interior of Europe, places like Hungary, Czechoslovakia.
Have you been to
Turkey.
Germany? Have you been to Germany before?
I have not been to Germany, so we're going there in April for my B-Day.
Yes.
But other places, I'm always intrigued, but I'm never quite sure I actually really, really want to go. And it's the places like Bora Bora or the Maldives. You see those vacation ads where they're on some like cabin over the water with like a slide outside of their master bedroom into the water. They have their like own little pool, and it looks neat, but I don't know if I would really want to stay there for like a week. And I know you don't have to stay there for a week, but I am definitely the person who I like going to do stuff on my vacations.
Yeah.
With the exception of the fact that we do like to do cruising and we hang out on the ship. Well, sometimes we'll go into port now, but if I'm going all the way to a specific country, I'm like, I want to go see the stuff it's famous for.
Right. Same.
And, I don't know if like the Maldives is famous for anything other than the over the water bungalows.
Right.
So I don't know if I would really enjoy that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to go if there's someone out there that would like to sponsor a vacation for us.
That'd be great.
Yes. So what about you? What are places you've wanted to go to?
I am very excited that we're going to Germany. I am very excited that we are going to Italy, because those are the two. There was a really long period of time where I was just kind of like, it wasn't that I didn't want to go to Europe. It just was never in my realm of I ever thought I was ever going to go. I mean, like, I think that was really it. Like, it wasn't so much like I hate Europe. It had nothing it had nothing to do with that. I've always wanted to go to Europe, but I think the places that I want to go to are just so, not weird, but they're just so like I want to go above the Arctic Circle. Like, I want to go to the place in Norway. I think it's Norway, where it's like you can see the almost called it something else.
The Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights. Almost called it something else. The Areola Borealis.
I was waiting for it.
Iceland has always been a big one. I remember there was this documentary style VHS tapes that I used to watch. They were called CKY. They were like skits, skating, sketch comedy kind of thing, and there was one where they went to Iceland, and I remember like seeing like a montage of them in Iceland, and it was just looked like the most beautiful place I had ever seen. I was like, oh, I want to go to Iceland. I didn't even know if that's a place I wanted to go to until I saw this on a video. I have always wanted to go to one of those places that has those bungalows over the water.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. I don't know if I could do it for a week. And if that's like all we're doing, there's no way I could do that for a week.
Yeah.
I might as well. I mean, I guess maybe I could, maybe, but I mean, like,
obviously we could.
I would need something to do.
Right.
I would need something to do. Like, if there were like activities where people pick you up and you go do stuff, then I'm in. We can go do that. But other than that, I'm just kind of like, I think after like the second day, I would just kind of be like, can we go do something? Like, I can't, as much as I would love to just sit and not do anything all day, I'm just incapable of doing that.
Me too.
I'm not saying I do that at home, but like, I am more likely to want to do that at home rather than spend money and go do that on a vacation.
Yes, that's it for me.
Because I can sit in that chair right there, right next to us. I could sit there all day long and not do anything so easily. But like, imagine doing that on a vacation really kind of bums me out. Like,
Yeah.
I would really just be like, why are we here? Why don't we just go back home? It's a little different when like we go maybe to Vegas, or when we do stuff in Vegas, or when we go to like Biloxi, or when it's like a night or two. It is nice to just kind of like be away and not do anything. And I'll hang out in the hotel room and watch my hotel TV, and you'll go down to the casino and play your slots, and I'll kind of go down there maybe for like half an hour and play the slots, and go to Shake Shack, then go back
Get
upstairs.
a Captain Coke or a shake or something.
Yeah, and then go back upstairs. But if we're doing something for like multiple amount of days, I'm like, we have to do stuff. So like, I am so excited for a Europe trip. I remember I was telling my manager, I was telling my boss about it, and he was just like, that's a lot of stuff. And I'm like, because I was telling him like our itinerary, and he was just like, that's a really busy vacation. I'm like, there's no other way I would want to do it. Honestly, there's no other way.
It's kind of how I was telling you, like, when we get off the plane, like, literally the train station stops at our hotel.
Yeah.
We are dropping our bags off and we are going. So
Yeah.
I have already prepared you, because you do not sleep well on planes, where I am giving you a Tylenol PM or two, and I was like, you are going to sleep, so when we wake up landing, you are rested.
Once we're in the airport, like past security, we're going somewhere, we're getting me some NyQuil or getting me something to knock me out, so I can sleep for 14 hours. Is that how long?
No, it's like 8 or
14
10
hours total.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's total from when we leave till we get there.
It's like 8 hours. Yeah. Still,
But,
that's the longest I've been on a plane since I went to South America. That was a really long time ago. So.
And I feel like the other place that I'm curious about, but then I always hear horror stories about, are like New Zealand and Australia.
I would love to do New Zealand, because I'm such a lover of Lord of the Rings. I would absolutely
Jurassic Park.
If we had, if money if money wasn't the issue, if money, work, and time weren't the issue, and we just had money to throw around and nothing but time, I would love to go to New Zealand and do the Lord of the Rings tour, do the full tour, do all the Jurassic Park stuff. That would be amazing. But like every single time. We just watched a movie called Dangerous Animals and that was set in, obviously it's a work of fiction, but it was first of all, if you haven't seen it, it's a really, really good movie.
Oh my God,
Go
it was
watch
really good.
But it has Jai Courtney in it, who's Captain Boomerang in the Suicide Squad movies, and he was the asshole in the Shailene Woodley Divergent movies. And he's great in it, but like it's just further kind of like that mixed with like Wolf Creek and other ones. I'm just like, man, Australia is like, there are areas that are just desolate. And desolate, I mean, like, wasn't it Kara and Nate who did like the Outback thing? And they were like, they just see like abandoned buses and cars just on the side of the road. I'm like, what happened to those people? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, what happened to those people? You know, that's what I always think. And I know there are plenty of other places in the world that are desolate, that are dangerous, but like, you just never hear stories quite like the ones you hear from Australia.
That and like the spiders and the dingoes.
Oh my God, that Reddit story where the guy in Australia went to the bathroom in like this nice office and there was just this huge hunting spider dangling from his testes in the toilet. I'm just like, good Lord. Yeah. So I would love to do New Zealand. I don't know about Australia, but I would love to do New Zealand.
Yeah. New Zealand for me.
Sydney. Let's go to Sydney.
Go to
in Australia.
Opera House,
let's go to the Opera House. Let's go to like the city.
Yeah.
If any really friendly Australian middle-aged man is like, come on this tour, I'm gonna be like, no, sorry.
Nope.
I've seen too many of you in horror movies.
We've seen Open Water.
Yeah.
We don't want to be left behind. Actually, the people that Open Water they were from Baton Rouge, the Lonergans. Yeah.
I remember when that movie came out. That is the number one thing everyone told me. They're from Baton Rouge. I'm like, wow, you just really made me want to do this. So yeah, New Zealand would be fun. Above the Arctic Circle. I would love to explore more of Alaska. I would really like to do that. Go to like Anchorage, go to like other places. There's like Santa's Workshop. That's like a big tourist attraction, and that would be fun. More places in Canada I would love to go to. Canada's just such a beautiful place, so I would just love to check that out. Yeah. There are places in the United States I haven't been to that I want to go to. Like I would love to go to Niagara Falls. I would love to.
We could do Toronto and Buffalo.
I would love to do I would love to go to Bangor and do like a Stephen King tour. Like I would love to do all that.
Yeah,
so
let's
there are so many places I want to go with my boo. So
yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna get into this episode. We're gonna get into this plot summary. And then we're going to kind of trickle in our stories and questions. I have them written down, but you don't, so I'm just going to kind of spring them on you.
Uh-oh. I'm scared now.
One's going to be really easy. Okay. We're talking about our honeymoon, so. Okay. Oh, my God. All right. Is that Kahului?
Yeah.
At Kahului Airport on Maui, Shane Patton is waiting for his flight. An older couple engage him in conversation, and he tells them that he just spent his honeymoon at the island's White Lotus resort. They mention that a person was found dead at that resort. When they ask about the whereabouts of his wife, he rudely rebuffs them, walks away, and stares out the window where he sees a box containing human remains being loaded onto an airplane. Great time to bring up our honeymoon.
Yeah.
So I think what is traditional with a honeymoon, although I have been seeing it not be the case anymore. Yeah. It seems that what we did is more common, which I don't understand why more people don't do it. But I think the traditional honeymoon is you get married, you have your reception, you have your wedding night, everyone throws the rice at you or blows the bubbles. That's what we did at my cousin Christy's wedding. My only memory of ever doing that I never did the rice thing at a wedding. I never understood that. But anyway, is there do you know the
lore? I think it's supposed to be like good luck or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows why we do anything? So we just took a little bathroom break, and in the meantime, I did look up why we throw rice at weddings. You're right. It is a symbolic gesture of good luck, prosperity, and fertility for the newlyweds.
Fertility, yeah.
Everything is for fertility.
Fertility. Have babies.
Their tradition, rooted in ancient customs, signifies wishes for a fruitful marriage and abundant future for the couple. Who knows why we do anything?
Yes.
It's the real thing. All right, so
honeymoons.
So the tradition is, I didn't lose track. The tradition is that you get married, you have your reception, you have your wedding night, and then you leave the next day for your honeymoon.
Yep. Usually, at least
Usually.
a day or so.
So we did not do that. And from what I'm learning from people, it's becoming more of a thing because people are like, no, let's treat this like a vacation and let's save some money, pick the right place. Let's, it doesn't, maybe sometimes your honeymoon doesn't coincide with the dates of your wedding. Maybe it's the time of year that you're getting married. So I think you and I decided, I mean, we knew we weren't going on a honeymoon right after we got married. But I don't know if did we have it planned when we got married, what we were doing? Or
I think we were actually still thinking, because we had actually thought of Europe at some point.
I remember that.
But then I think, and it kind of fits in that this is the last episode with one of the reasons we ended up choosing where we went was we decided we wanted to just like go see like a bunch of Broadway musicals and stuff. I think also just because I was using a lot of frequent flyer miles and I had a lot of Hilton points, and so I was like, let's go somewhere where we can get to and stay, and then we can splurge on what we're going to be doing once we get there.
So we went to New York. We stayed in Manhattan, right across the street from Dunder Mifflin corporate office.
Yes, we did.
Actually, the real where Michael Scott filmed in front of the office. We were literally right across the street from them, or right next door to them.
Yeah, next door.
So I had never been, so I was obviously super excited.
I had gone for like an interview, but visiting like I had not been since around 2014.
Gotcha.
And then before that, many years, like high school.
So this was April 2018.
Yes.
And this was April 2018. And this was kind of our first, it wasn't our first trip together, but it was our first time where... That's not true, because when we did the Pacific Northwest thing, we were just go, go, go the whole time.
Oh, yeah, we were.
But this was... So before we went to New York, though, we did not really sleep the night before because we were really excited. This is a fact. We did not sleep the night before because we were...
came over.
Yeah, and we ended up staying up really late. I think we were watching, like, Challenge, or we were watching something. And...
our dog sitter came.
Yes, because when we still had Maggie.
Yeah.
And so we left that early that morning. We landed probably that morning or afternoon. I don't specifically remember the time of day. And then we got in a cab. We landed in Newark. We got in a cab or a Uber or something, and we went to Manhattan. We dropped off our luggage, and then we walked straight to 30 Rock.
Yep.
And then we did the 30 Rock tour. We got to walk around. You met Jax from Vanderpump Rules.
Yep.
Which was funny because you had just gotten me into Vanderpump Rules, and I just started watching it.
So crazy.
And you're like, I think that's Jax, and then you just like you do what Anna does best, and you just took off.
I ran for him and was like, I want a selfie.
So if you're ever anywhere with Anna, be sure you have like a leash or something.
Stop.
Because you will just take off. You are my little Tasmanian devil. You will just run off when you see something cool. I kind of do the same thing, so I can't judge you for it. So we did 30 Rock. We got to watch Jimmy Fallon rehearsal.
Yeah, the rehearsal.
Do like the monologue, do the jokes and stuff. Which was really cool.
The guests actually don't come out, but it was like everything.
It was still really cool. It was like he
totally.
was in his suit, right?
Yeah.
It was like a dress rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see the Roots. Like it was really cool, and we got to see how tiny that stage is and how tiny that whole area is.
Jimmy Fallon, have us back, please. Thank you.
That would be awesome. And then we saw 3 Broadway musicals. We saw Avenue Q, which was so funny. That's the puppet one. If you've never seen Avenue Q, I'm not going to say go see it because it's very TVMA.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's still running.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know either, but like the theater we went and saw, that was really cool. It was very small, very intimate. We were like front row balcony, right in the middle. It was perfect. I don't even know if the theater was full. I don't even remember that. But it was hilarious. There's a puppet sex scene,
Yeah.
which we were crying. We were laughing so hard. The music was really great too, so that's also great. There is a junior version of Avenue Q.
Oh
like
my
there is
God.
like a kid. There's like a high school play version of
Wow.
Avenue Q. I don't know if I want to watch that, but I kind of want to know like what the how they change it, or how they what they edit out. Because it felt like they had to edit out everything. Anyway, and then we saw School of Rock, which I was very, very excited about. It's one of my favorite movie-wise, my favorite comedy. Speaking of Mike White, he wrote it and he co-starred in it.
Yep.
And
Perfect.
He literally wrote that movie while he was living next door to Jack Black, and he wrote it. He's like, I'm gonna get you a lead role. Like I'm gonna write something for you, because Jack Black's like the music guy. And yeah, then we saw Hello Dolly, which was epic because it was Victor Garber and Bernadette Peters playing Dolly. It was at Schubert Theater. Schubert Theater is like one of the oldest, classiest, iconic. We were practically kissing the ceiling.
Oh
but
my
it
God!
was
Yes, it was. That one was tiny, but tiny because it's such an old theater.
Right.
Like the people back in whenever this was built in the 1800s were obviously very tiny people.
Yeah, they were.
So
They were like our height, but
Yeah.
we weren't used to it.
yeah.
But yeah, I keep saying we were kissing the ceiling. I'm barely exaggerating.
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
we were.
But it was it was epic. It was so good. It was really cool to see like 3 different types of musicals. It was like Avenue Q was like this kind of it wasn't off Broadway, but it was like off Broadway, edgy,
Offbeat, edgy.
yeah, edgy, very controversial, very X-rated. You had School of Rock, which was like new. It was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber. The music was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it was very funny. It was very contemporary. It was very family friendly.
Oh yeah, the kids all in it. Yeah,
And it was so good. It was so good. And then you have Hello Dolly, which is like classic Broadway, classic musical theater. I was in Hello Dolly in 8th grade. Shout out to whoever. Shout out to Hello Dolly. Shout out to me. Shout out to maybe one person I was in theater with at Parkview. But yeah, like it was a really cool. We went to Catch, which is Hung's restaurant from Top Chef. Then we went to Añejo, which was so good. I wish we would have gotten like real food. I don't remember.
Yeah, we got there really late.
I don't remember.
Angelo's,
okay.
And then we went to Serendipity and saw
That place was awesome. We saw Nolan Marin.
Nolan Marin, yes,
Yeah.
from America's Next Top Model.
which was actually kind of funny.
And I was like, this was the one time where I was like, I want to take a picture of him. But I mean, that place is so tiny. I think you got a picture.
I got a picture because I was facing him. You were
Yeah.
like, is that him? And I'm like, because I've obviously watched America's Next Top Model, but I was just kind of like, yeah, who else could that be? He has such a
And then we did like all the touristy. Oh, we went to the View.
Jason Biggs, and that was a very unexpected, because that was when I guess I can just kind of say it. That was when the Bill Cosby verdict had kind of come out.
That was that's kind of a wild.
Yeah.
I was actually in 2014 with my friend Amy. Shout out to Amy. When Beverly Johnson went on The View to talk about being sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby, all of the women were coming out and talking about it. And then to be back there in the exact same place on the day that the decision came out about it, it was a really weird.
Like 4 years later.
Yeah, it was. I just remember because that was very unexpected.
We weren't. We were like Jason. We knew Jason Biggs was going to be there, which we were both excited about, because any celebrity that we know, we're going to be excited about. And also, it's The View, so we knew everyone that was there, and it was. It was very. You could tell Jason Biggs was. I'm not going to say he was mad, but he was just like, of course, this is the episode that I'm going to be on, because he kind of had to be there for it, and he kind of had to like commentate on it. It was just
because I think he was there for Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And so we saw the Statue of Liberty. We went to the top of the Empire State Building, which
the Natural History Museum.
We saw the National History Museum, but we went to. We've talked about this before. But we went to Empire State Building when there was no one there, which was awesome. We went there maybe like half an hour before they closed, maybe like an hour before they closed.
Sprinkling, so no one was there either.
It was
empty. Amazing.
It was empty. There was maybe like 5 other people at the top. It was definitely, and it was during an era where like, it was like the stuff on at Times Square. It was like there was like a Jersey Shore thing. There was like a thing for the challenge, and I was just like, all these shows that I watch, they're on the billboards. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
So it was I would say we had a very memorable honeymoon.
It was go. It
didn't feel like a honeymoon because it just felt like a vacation, but that's what we call it, our honeymoon.
And then we closed it out with a power shopping adventure at Macy's.
We went to the Macy's.
We went to the Macy's in Herald Square, and as always, I teach Jeff how to power shop.
Yeah.
With discounts and coupons, and we had lunch, and then we caught our late afternoon flight home to come back to the Tootie, and yeah, so that was our honeymoon. I wouldn't change it. I mean, you sit there and think like, oh my God, we could have gone here or there. But I loved it because we were doing stuff both of us really enjoyed doing, was eating at fun places that meant something, going to see different kind of musicals, and and then going to do the random stuff
I still smoked cigarettes back then.
You did.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and going to do the random stuff like, because we did decide to do a couple of the things last minute.
Yeah.
Like we checked, and like the Serendipity place for hot chocolate was still open. So we're like, let's go.
Yep.
And then, I mean, just all the little things. So, and then all the like accidental, the whole Jack sighting was crazy. And
then we went and got some legit New York pizza, which ended up being really good. And it cost us it was like the cheapest. It was like $10 for 2 slices and 2 drinks.
Yeah.
So I had a great time. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. It was an unforgettable experience. I would say one of my favorite trips we've ever done. We've traveled a lot together, and I have a feeling that our upcoming European trip is going to become my new favorite. But that first time, that Pacific Northwest trip, our first trip to New York, which is our only trip to New York so far, and then our first our Alaskan cruise have kind of been like my top 3. Yeah. And I would say that's kind of been my top 3. New York was just so much fun.
It was, I think it was just because it was truly from the minute we landed and checked into the hotel.
Yeah.
We were off.
Yeah.
And it was go time. And
it really helps that we vacation the same.
Yes.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be so excited to go on trips together. Yes. But yeah, you and I are both very active vacation people. And that obviously works out very well for us.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 week earlier, so back to the episode. 1 week earlier, Shane. So we had the scene at the airport, and so then smash cut, flashback. We're back to a week earlier, which is usually how the seasons go. You'll have like a flash forward, and then you go back a week, and then you're like, oh, what happened? Like, and you're kind of left with all that. So 1 week earlier, Shane and his wife Rachel board a ferry to the White Lotus. Joining them as the new guests are Mark and Nicole Mossbacher with their children, the 16-year-old Quinn, who he recently starred in Gladiator 2, and I heard he was really good in it.
Oh, okay.
And college sophomore Olivia, who has brought her friend Paula. The girls amuse themselves by making snide remarks about other guests. So they're kind of playing the game of what do you think their story is?
Yes.
Okay, so this brings me to my next question. I asked you this. You're prepared. I hope you're prepared for this one because I did tell you about it. Have you ever gone on vacation with your friend and your friend's family, and has there ever been like drama or like a dynamic that you weren't used to because you were with like a friend's family, so you didn't really know like how to act and stuff like that?
I will say really the only family vacation that I can really, really, really remember is going on a beach vacation with Jennifer's family to Destin, and they stayed in those cabins, not in like the bougie condos. Right. And so mind you, I'm not going to say Jennifer's family was like super rich, but he worked for Texaco. He was a geologist. So they were certainly not poor.
Right.
They lived in one of the nicer subdivisions near my mom's house.
Upper middle class.
Oh, definitely upper middle class. And all I remember was her mom, and rest in peace, Mrs. J. I love both of them. And we laughed about it at the time. So I'm not, if Jennifer's listening.
Yeah.
Was she would limit our toilet paper use. Because like in the cabins.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
In the cabins, like in these cabins, you would bring like all your own like food to cook.
Right.
It was like it had a little kitchenette and a dining room.
It was a cabin.
Yeah, it was a cabin.
Yeah.
On the beach, and so like she would limit our toilet paper use, and so I just sit back and think, and I'm like, I know how much toilet paper costs today. So like in the mid 80s, like there's no way in hell like toilet paper cost more than like $3 for a pack of like 8 rolls of toilet. Like I don't know.
Was it that they brought a limited supply, or was it like the plumbing?
I think it was the plumbing.
Okay.
But Jennifer and we ended up going to the store and getting like extra toilet paper because Jennifer has, I don't know, like officially, like she has like IBS issues and stuff. So she always had to go to the bathroom. And as you know, I always have toilet paper.
Yeah.
I am the person who, if I'm invited to a party, I will bring a couple of rolls of toilet paper to say thank you for inviting me. But we went to like the drugstore, the Eckerd's or the Rite Aid, whatever it was at the time. And we went and bought like an extra pack of toilet paper, and we hid it in like our duffel bag. So like when we went to the bathroom, we would bring extra toilet paper with us. It was like hilarious because I just was like, she would give us literally like 4 squares each time. Like she'd be like, all right, you got to go to the bathroom. Oh, here's your like 4 squares or so. We'd be like, thanks. And I would have like a big wad in my bra or in my bikini top or whatever. So, but other than that, I mean, that was just kind of a silly thing. I mean, no drama really that I can think of. I mean, but I don't think I've ever gone on like a family vacation with anyone. Spring break, that wasn't a family trip, so I'll leave that story for another pod. But what about you? Have you gone on a family with another family?
So I've talked about the McGees who used to live next door to us in Central. Michael was the same age as me. Michelle was the same age as my sister. We went on trips with them all the time, and there was never any real drama as far as I remember. But I do have a very I have a very clear memory of when I went on a beach. It was a beach trip. I went on a beach trip with one of my friends and his family, but we went to Jacksonville, and that is where his stepdad's mother lived. So we stayed at her house, but she lived like right across the street from the beach. She was like retired. I think she also had money. She lived in a nice little like bungalow type looking place right across the street from the beach in Jacksonville. And it was really interesting because, so it was me. I was probably like 11 or 12 maybe. I was like summer going into like 7th grade, I'll say. And it was me, my friend, his mom, his stepdad, and then his little brother, who was probably maybe like 3 or 4 years younger than us. So he was maybe like eight or something like that. And it was very interesting because there was a lot. So my parents divorced when I was in 4th grade. I don't really have a lot of memories of going on vacations with my family, or really any memories of like my parents interacting on vacation, just because I was so young when they got divorced, and we didn't, it's not like we went on like that many vacations outside of like the beach and stuff. And I was a kid doing my own thing. I wasn't paying attention to my parents. This was kind of my first time going on a vacation with a family where I kind of was watching like the husband and like the dad and the
dynamic between
the parents. And there was, so I'm not going to speak that say like I know these things, but there was a lot of tension between the my friend's mom and the mother-in-law that lived in the beach house in Jacksonville. Okay. There was a lot of like, I just remember being like, oh, they don't like each other. I just remember thinking that to myself, being like, oh, they don't like each other. Because it was like anything that like my friend's mom would do, the mother-in-law would like straight up like undermine her. And it's like, these are like her step-grandchildren. So it's like, lady chill. You know what I mean? It's like,
to the
mother-in-law, the mother-in-law. I'm like, lady, chill out. These, not like these aren't your kids. Like you have no right to love them or anything, but it's like, or these aren't your grandkids. You have no right to love them. But like at the same time, like, y'all, they've only been married for a few years. Like, lady, chill out. Like, these aren't your kids. These aren't actually your grandkids. And I remember kind of thinking that because I didn't really ever have to deal with that with my stepmom because we had Grandpa. I had Grandpa Johnson, who I maybe saw like a few times, and then that was kind of it. Like,
Yeah.
and he was always really nice. He was the most typical grandpa you could ever think of. So it wasn't
Gave you his
like,
car.
exactly. I mean, like I didn't have anything problems with him, but at this point, my dad hadn't remarried yet. I don't even know if him and Shelly knew each other, but I don't think they got married yet. And or they had like just started dating or something like that. And so I didn't really have a lot of like to go from to see like dynamics of like step families. But I just remember like us driving back, and we stayed at like a motel type place where we like all were in the same room, and all three boys were like in one big bed together and stuff. And I just remember like I'm laying in bed, almost said his name. My friend and his little brother are fast asleep. I of course can't sleep because I'm probably like in the middle of them and I can't move. So like I probably couldn't sleep. And I just remember like they were whisper fighting. The parents were like whisper fighting for like a really long time. And I was just like, there's no way I'm going to fall asleep. I was just like, I'm going to listen to everything that they're saying. And I mean, like they were like, she was not holding back on how she felt about that mother-in-law. And obviously they thought we were all asleep. Otherwise they wouldn't have said anything. But like, I just remember sitting there just being like, there wasn't this phrase back then, but now I'd be like, I have so much tea. Like I have so much tea. I have so much stuff to talk about. But like, and I remember he was like, of course, like trying to defend his mom. And I remember she said some words that I will have to tone out if I say them on here. But she called the mother-in-law a see you next Tuesday, and she called her something that rhymes with quat, and called her a bitch and called her other things. And I was just like, wow. I was just like, and in the back of my mind, I was just like, I wonder if my mom or my dad ever said this about their in-law. I don't think they did, but like, and I don't think they would have, but like in the back of my head, that's like when that started entering my mind. Cause I mean, it's like, you know, I knew that they were remarried. I knew that was my friend's stepdad. So I mean, like in the back of my mind, I'm just like, and my parents were divorced at this point. So I was like, I wonder if my parents ever said that about, like, if they ever fought about over each other's parents. I don't know if they did. If they did, I had no idea about it, but.
Well, I'm going to say, and it's not the same exactly, but it was definitely something I had in my mind. Obviously, I got married much later in life, but, you know, my brother and my sister were married before their current spouses.
Yeah.
So my brother had been married once before, and she had a very, very bad relationship with my mother. My mother detested his first wife.
Yeah.
I mean, like, legit. And then my sister's first husband, my parents also did not like. I think for a lot of the reasons that they thought my sister was too young. I mean, I don't think they knew him very well to base any dislike on him. I think they were just probably upset that my sister chose to get married so young.
Right.
And again, you know, I can't totally speak to that because I was pretty young at the time when both of my siblings first got married. I was in junior high and then early high school. Like,
yeah.
I was a sophomore and in like 7th grade or 8th grade. But I just remember those dynamics and the position, particularly that my mother put my brother and my sister in to choose.
Yeah.
And my mom's choice was always like, I am your mother, you should choose me, like, yeah. Always. And while there is those ancient Chinese tales of like, if you were in a boat and, you know, your wife was drowning or your
yeah.
mother was drowning or your daughter was drowning, who would you pick? And the answer is, you know, supposedly your mother, because you could only have one. My mom fully believed in that concept.
Yeah.
I just was always like, I never wanted to, once I ever got married, wanted to come between my spouse and the in-laws, particularly a mother-in-law. Yeah. Because I know the bond. I know my mom adored my brother way more than she adored me.
She was a boy mom.
She was a boy mom.
Yeah.
And so I really I feel like make a very concerted effort
Yeah.
to enjoy being with your
It was a little different
and
because
your stepmom.
my parents were essentially like dropping me off at your doorstep, be like, he's yours now, and then left. The equivalent of, like,
Yes,
choose getting in between us. It was like, no, they left me at your doorstep and never looked back.
So, but
They love me. They love me.
Yes, but I really
They just want me to be
wanted
happy.
to have a good relationship with them. I never, not that it would have ever felt this way, but I never wanted, particularly your mom. Hi, Gigi. I love
Gigi.
you. Like that I was changing y'all's relationship
Yeah.
because you were very close to your mom.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all still had like monthly dinners
Mm-hmm.
and you would go hang out with her and Penny and, go to Memphis and
Yeah.
things like that. So, and go see Maddie. So I was very in tune to that, and I didn't want to infringe on that relationship.
Right.
I wanted to become a part of it, and I definitely feel like we have a very good relationship. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we went to Maddie's graduation and stayed together, and we took Maddie on her senior cruise, and Gigi was with us, and we have not traveled with Shelley and Lloyd yet. If they want to go on a vacation, just let us know.
Then who's going to watch Frankie?
I know. Oh shit, Nova.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I definitely, you telling that story really made me think like I would never want either of your mom or Shelley and Lloyd
Yeah.
talking about me that way.
They love you.
Like, so that to me was really important because I wanted them to really, really actually like me as a person.
And you don't have to worry about it. All right, back to the episode. All right, so we got the Mossbacher family. We have Olivia and Paula making side remarks about the other guests. Another new guest is Tanya McCoy, the star of this show.
Oh, yeah.
The true star of this show, Jennifer Coolidge. Another new guest is Tanya McCoy, a highly strung middle-aged woman who has arrived with her mother's ashes. I love her so much. She just looks at you and I just start laughing. Like she just can make me laugh.
She just
doing
looks
nothing.
like she's in pain all the time.
What I love about her character is that she is just so helpless. Like it's like she can't. She's just one of those people that like, and we all know these type of people. I don't know if it's people that just have always had money or people who just they always have help. Like they never do anything by themselves. Like they always have someone like doing something for them, or they're like, can you do it for me? Like she's very much that person. I wonder which Real Housewives she based that character off of because it's gotta be a Sonia or something. They are welcomed by Armin, the manager, Lonnie, who played by Jolene Purdy, who I talked about a second ago, his trainee, Belinda Lindsay, my favorite, the spa, she's the spa manager, and Dylan, another member of the hotel staff, who is played by Lucas Gage. He was in the first season of Euphoria, and if you've ever seen Smile 2 or Companion, he is another kind of rising star. He's been in a lot of really good movies the last few years. He's a really, really great actor. And yes, he does a very creepy smile in Smile 2. He's the guy in the beginning. Yeah, Smile 2. Anyway, we eventually learn that Lonnie is pregnant and her baby is going to be born soon, but she never told this to Armin for fear of not being hired. When her water breaks, which was so funny, just in the middle of the lobby, no one even notices. She goes to sit down in the office, only for everyone to find out that she is in labor. Have you ever had this is a random question, you could say no. Have you ever had a coworker lie about being pregnant or withholding being pregnant?
Not so much withholding, but like really because, I don't work with people in office. Right. When we just went to our January meeting, we found out that one of the team leads was pregnant in like February and that she was due in like June or July.
Oh my God.
So that she was going to be out this whole semester because my company gives 6 months of maternity leave, which is very
That's
nice.
awesome. Yeah.
But it's our entire fall semester, which
Right.
is our super busy time. So no one knew about it until we saw her with a little baby bump, and we're
Gotcha.
like, because she's actually like a really tiny person, so you
Yeah,
could tell.
you could tell, yeah.
And then no one was asking her officially. Like we were all
Yeah.
like, "Is she pregnant?
Yeah.
Is she pregnant? She has to be pregnant. She didn't just get fat." You
Yeah.
know, so
I worked in the restaurant industry. People were getting pregnant all the time. I'm not lying. Actually,
believe you.
not lying. All right. Shane is annoyed to discover that they were not given the special room for their honeymoon, which was paid by his parents. He complains to Armin, who claims they never booked the suite, which is now occupied by a German couple. This frustrates Rachel as she feels he is not enjoying their honeymoon. Rachel strikes up a conversation with Paul and Olivia, who mock her listicle writing profession and make her feel uncomfortable until they see her in her bathing suit, in her bikini, get in the pool. And then they're like, oh, damn, she's hot. That's why she locked that guy down. Mark is awaiting medical results for the following day, believing that he has testicular cancer. Per his wife's advice, he decides to spend more time with Quinn, who is preoccupied with his phone and tablet. Eventually, they decide to go snorkeling. Tanya, which is another funny scene where they're snorkeling and Steve Zahn is looking at his testicles in the ocean, and Quinn is like, Dad, what are you doing? Tanya is unable to get a spa massage, but Belinda instead performs a ceremonial chant which calms her down. My favorite scene of the whole episode. You don't have to sing along, but it feels right. Tanya just wants to chant along with Belinda. Belinda won't let her. That night, Armin is informed that Lonnie is giving birth in his office, which was another funny scene. As he has doctors tend to Lonnie, Armin is it? I can never say it right. Laments. All right. As he has doctors tend to Lonnie, Armin laments that he had no idea she was pregnant, thinking she was just overweight. Mark is finally called by the doctor, but he is left without answer when they lose their phone connection. At their suite, Shane and Rachel decide to leave aside the problem with the booking and proceed to have sex. End of episode.
Yeah, sexy time.
I mean, as I know we talked in between it, but that was a very quick summary. But I mean, honestly, that was kind of all that happened. Not in a bad way. It was just I would say
it was setting it up.
Another great example of what a pilot should be. Not too much, not too little. We got the vibe of everybody.
It left you curious.
You definitely want to know what You definitely want to know what keeps happening. You definitely want to know.
Well, you definitely want to know what is that box going on.
Well,
the plane.
I think that's all.
I mean, you don't know
I think
who.
that's the hook for every. I mean, to a point to where White Lotus, 3 seasons in, they got to have someone dying at the resort once a year, one of their resorts once a year.
Yes.
Starting to become a thing. All right, so we have made it to the end of another month. Thanks for sticking with us as always. We appreciate
with the new format.
We appreciate all the with our new intro as well. I don't know if we've talked about that. We did it in one take. Go us.
Go us.
But we appreciate and love all the support that we get, all the downloads that we get from all over the world, which is what I've seen in our schematics and our statistics. Analytics. And I just like saying schematics. It's stupid.
Schematics.
Anyway, so we have ended another month, which means we have an announcement for our next theme. Now, where exactly did you get the idea for this one? Because usually it has to do with like the month, but like...
Yes, it does. And it still has to do with the month.
Tell me.
It comes from the song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, the music.
Okay.
And so I was like, because everyone sings that riff of September. I can't sing again.
Got it. Okay, I know what you're
And
talking
so, yes, whenever that month comes, it's kind of like, it's gonna be May, but now like it's the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so
music.
So this month's theme is we are specifically doing musicals.
Yes.
So we kind of had to differentiate. I think maybe another month we'll do like TV shows about music, but for this one specifically, we are doing musicals this month. We kind of had to differentiate, but we figured it out. We've already watched 3 shows. I have them all typed out in front of me now. But we have not decided on a 4th show yet. We're going to figure that out sometime this week or maybe on Saturday. And so we're really excited about that. We got some the 3 shows we've watched so far were all really different and all really great. I was honestly a little worried. I was like, a musical's a musical. Like, I was very, like, in my mind about, like, are they all going to be the same? Not at all. Not even close. Of course, I love being wrong for this. But yeah, we have a lot of great shows for next month. And we are considering doing 2 bonus episodes to review each other's favorite musicals.
Yeah.
Movie musicals.
Yeah.
Which I'm also very excited about because you've never seen mine and I've never seen yours. So very excited. And it's going to be a fun month. So I think that's going to wrap up this episode.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
All right. That wraps up this episode. Thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't already, go ahead and follow us on whichever platform you're listening to this podcast on. That way you'll be notified every time we publish a new episode. You can follow us on Instagram at WeJudgePilotPod. We're also on Facebook. You can leave us a comment, suggest a show for us to watch, or leave some emojis in the comments. What you got?
The lotus flower, a bikini, family.
Wait, do we finally have another, like, Red Shoe Diaries? We have a White Lotus?
Yeah, there is a White Lotus.
Hell yeah, we did it.
There's that, like, little white flower.
We did it. Our podcast is over. We quit.
Yeah, we're
we
done.
did it.
The hotel, the plane, a boat, the urn to sort of represent the box of the body. The spa person with the towel on their head, the pregnant lady, and the splooge of water. The splash of water, sorry. You can bleep that. The bride and the groom, the honey pot and the moon, a pen, paper to represent that she's a journalist, and the tablet and the phone.
There is a tombstone emoji for the dead.
Yes, yeah, the tombstone.
Just let you know.
Yeah, that one too. All right, well, we are going to head out, but we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.